All right, everyone, take two. We are here for our clean beauty panel, and I am excited to turn it over to Gwendolyn to kick us off today. She's going to tell us a little bit about herself, and then she's going to introduce you to your panelists. And just a quick reminder that we will see everybody after the panel in sessions to answer questions. All right, have fun, you guys. Thank you so much.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. This is the lucky number 7 annual SoCal Wellness Summit. And my name is Gwendolyn Osborne. I am currently in Amazon in Wonder Woman 1984. And so, yeah, I can pretend to be really strong. And I'm also an entrepreneur. I have my own facial oil named Lo Malik. And I have just recently launched my new podcast called Tea with Gwen. And I am very happy to meet some more Wonder Women of the world to have on my podcast, such as these amazing 5 female founders that you see on your screen right now, who are changing the face of beauty one clean product at a time. I am so excited for you all to meet them, just as I am too. Let's start with Christine Bullock.
Hello, everybody. If you haven't had enough of me today and your workouts and your other panels, I'm back again, but I'm very excited about this one, of course. I am a 2-decade veteran, in case you are just starting in with me here, in fitness and nutrition. But I have always worked in beauty as well, and those worlds collided for me about 8 years ago when I was working with my prenatal clients. We couldn't find something for the body, for body care that was clean and yet still highly effective. So I went out and I created it. We launched KO Body Care in 2016, immediately coming out with a lot of formulation awards, which we still continue to get on new products. I'm very proud of these formulas. We run them by EU standards, so very clean, because I am a pre and postnatal specialist and I deal with a lot of mommies, and I am one myself. And we have recently expanded. We have about 22 products, I believe. And we've recently expanded into body tools, into supplements, and we truly were the first face grade body care to come out into the market in 2016, completely disrupt the skincare market and say body is just as important as face. And we can see it's very much trending at this point. So we're very glad to have led the way.
Thanks, Christine. Wow, you sound like someone who just takes naps all the time.
I have my KO greens to help.
Okay, we gotta know how to get through like you. Let's meet Allison Moss. Hello, Allison. Can you see us here?
Hi, everybody. Hi, I'm Allison Moss. I am the founder and CEO of Type A Brands. We make deodorant and body care, and my background is actually in marketing in the beauty industry. I've been in the industry for almost 20 years. I've seen all kinds of amazing products come to market, but a lot of them really not meeting the clean standard that I was looking for or the performance that I knew was possible. So I brought this brand out a couple of years ago. We're about to be 3 in April, to bring a safe and super high performance deodorant, and now expanding into body care, to as many people as possible, and really make that accessible. Because I knew in my gut from my former professional life that safe and high efficacy don't have to be mutually exclusive. They can absolutely go together. And we can make an amazing user experience around it. So products are not only something that work, but also something that you love to use. So we're really on a mission to help people lead healthier lives by making small but important changes to their routine and bringing these amazing products to as many people as possible. So that's what we do.
Love it, Allison. I want to say that without even knowing you, I have tried Type A. I have been obsessed with trying new deodorants over the last year, and I love Type A. So thank you for bringing that amazing. Let's meet Sarah Fotis.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah. I am the co-founder and CEO of Collective Laboratories. Collective Labs was founded with a mission to shed the shame of hair loss with globally sourced, nature-derived products that are really proven to bring you the best in scalp and hair care in a very clean and safe way. We believe that hair you're proud of really deserve products that you're proud to use. So to us, that means no sulfates, no parabens, no shady business. And so I just want to say thank you for having me. I'm super excited to have this conversation about clean beauty because it is such an important topic.
It is. Thank you, Sarah. Well, we have two lovely ladies actually who are the co-founders of Beyond Beauty LA, Shannon Soler and Simone Capeluto. I hope I did not kill your names. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Hi, I'll start. I'm Simone Capeluto, and our company is Beauty Beyond. We both started this about 8 years ago with really the intention of educating women to make healthier choices when choosing their skincare and makeup products. Our goal was to really simplify this process for our clients and to also provide them with a different, more authentic and transparent shopping experience. So we've spent the past 8 years really curating what we believe to be the best in clean beauty. And we kind of see ourselves as stylists for your skin.
Lovely. Thank you so much, ladies. I want to go into some other questions about your products. So, Christine, earlier today, you talked about your beauty supplements. We want to know a little bit more about them specifically. And what was your actual motivation behind these products that you have? What was your inspiration?
Yeah, so and we were talking about the supplements earlier today. We really began as an outside-in kind of brand where everybody had been taking care of only 5% of their skin. And I always say it was a little bit of two things. One, it was vanity. I was in my 30s and my skin was starting to change all over my body. And I couldn't find something that I could put all over it. There was either Neutrogena for $10.99, with the CoQ10, and that was the high-end brand version of Neutrogena, or there was La Mer. And La Mer, unfortunately, and some of these really expensive brands still had preservatives and chemicals in them. And especially when you're starting to put it on your biggest organ and the other 95% of your skin, I didn't want that all over my body. I was so clean in what I was eating and the water I was drinking, and I was so careful with everything. But when you put something directly onto the skin, it basically doesn't even have to process through the organs. It drives straight into the blood. And we're finding that so many people with, high mercury levels, high metal levels, all these things that are really editing our hormones. And we were talking about this in our supplement panel. I mean, it's from our skincare as well. So I was vainly looking for something that was a high performance body care, but was also clean enough for my personal standards, for the standards of, all of my clients as well. And for the standards, especially at this time for pregnant women. I feel like everybody has these standards right now, but this was, almost 8 years ago. And as soon as that sounds, it's been a lifetime of a change, I feel like, in skincare and body care since then. And so we just went about creating those standards. And I luckily work with a small lab up here in California. And so I have, I formulate all the products based on what I found over 2 decades of experience in working as a fitness model. Like, what are the quick tricks that are still very healthy for you to get toned skin, plump up the fine lines and wrinkles immediately, but also have long-term benefits and long-term effects, because we saw these quick fixes all the time, but we really want these long-term benefits as well. And then, wanting to give the best products to my clients or the best results, we went from skincare. So many people, you hear cellulite, that was one of the common things. And yes, we want our best in beauty for best cellulite treatment. But I was like, okay, I want to go deeper. And there's no problem with having cellulite, but there's also, it's a water weight. It's a hardened collagen elastin with, a little bit of fascia. That fascia can continue to tighten as we age. And we honestly, just for our health and our wellness, we want to treat the area. So we went into what you saw earlier, our gua sha comb, something that came from my fitness background and helping to break up the fascia underneath the skin. Great for natural detoxification throughout the day. We went into our greens, our collagen, our supplements, so that I wanted to create literally the best possible results in what I did to treat all of these internal and external for that client. And so that's kind of how KO came about, and my complete passion, because this is my world. It's what I love.
We can hear and feel the passion, even though we're not in person. We can totally. I love it. So Sarah and Allison, what was it that prompted you to develop and launch your clean beauty solutions?
Allison, do you want me to go? Okay. For me, the motivation behind Collective Labs was actually quite personal. So my struggle with hair loss began after the birth of my son, who's 12 years old now. And then I had another child, a daughter, named Ruby 9 years ago. And like many, many new moms, I suffered from postpartum hair loss. It's a real thing. We all know it. But then about 3 years ago, I had a stroke, and the physical symptoms of the stroke, like the emotional stress, the combination of prescribed medicines, just brought my hair loss back with like an extreme vengeance, to the point where, excuse me, I was in the hospital for 1 month. And despite the fact that I couldn't walk, I could barely see, I was seriously fixated on the fact that my hair was falling out in handfuls onto the ground in the hospital. So during that time, my doctors all assured me that it was normal. But sort of on the side, I was digging into my Pakistani roots. I'm a daughter of Pakistani immigrants, so reached back into, you know, the motherland concoctions and recipes, and came up with some amazing potions based on some of the natural ingredients that were part of like the Ayurvedic tradition. And so sort of at that time, I got out of the hospital a month later, and I was really desperate to return to my full self. And a lot of that was my hair, right? Hair for many women and men is identity, right? So I made countless trips to the drugstore, consulted with experts, but I was like feeling lost, confused, convinced there was nothing that was effective and clean for my scalp and my hair. There was nothing on the market. So a month after my stroke, I got out of the hospital, and, you know, thankfully one of my best friends is a beauty products chemist, and I called him, and he lives actually in California, and we started having a discussion about how we can bring something that's not shame-filled, right? Because you go to the drugstore and everything just screams shame, like, and it's white, medicinal, drug-filled. It was just like ugly and shamey. So we set out on a mission to have something that was, I call, countertop worthy, but also effective and safe. Safe for nursing mothers, safe for pregnant mothers as well. And so here we are. Our birthday is actually next month as well, Allison, but we're turning 2. So 2 years later, we have a handful of products in the market, and we continue to, you know, innovate around scalp care and healthcare. And I know that, like, very recently, I feel like the pandemic, and we'll probably talk about this a little bit more, has like driven the conversation around hair, because I also feel like all we do is stare at each other and ourselves in cameras all day. So there's a lot of products in the market that are coming to market now around, you know, safe hair care, which is such a great conversation to be having, because I will just amplify what Christina said is that your scalp is also part of your skin, right? So we take care of, like, I guess now I'm going to say like hair down, right? But not a lot of people are talking about your scalp and how chemicals can actually penetrate your bloodstream just as fast.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right, I'll jump in here. And following 2 amazing stories, share my own. I shared a bit of it in the intro. So my background, like I said, is in marketing in the beauty industry, and I've brought for big and small brands a lot of products to market. And for me, when I was looking for an aluminum-free or natural deodorant, and this was 5-6 years ago now, I tried dozens, and they were all very disappointing from a performance perspective. And as I started to look at the backs of the labels, and I can just never take my professional hat off, I started to overanalyze them and think, oh, how could I do this differently? I realized that every product on the market is basically the same formula. And so, you know, I'm talking about, you know, the products that existed at the time, and actually a lot of the products that still come to market that are natural deodorants or aluminum free. And so fundamentally, I saw an opportunity to just structure a different formula that would give you a better result. And I, you know, looked at all of the experience and the network I had in my beauty, you know, professional career, and said, you know, I think I can make this happen, and maybe we can create a better user experience so that it's fun to use, it's enjoyable to use, it really works. We're going to set the super high bar for safety. We follow that same EU standard plus to really set a high bar for clean product and clean ingredient integrity. and then make it easy to make a switch. Because if you have something that's not a sacrifice or trade-off to what you're currently using, whether that be an antiperspirant or a natural deodorant that isn't working for you, then why, if it's a no-brainer, if it's not a compromise, then you'll do it and stick with it. And that's another healthy choice you can make in your life. So we launched as a deodorant brand first, and that's really what we're known for. And Type A was brought to market in April of 2018. And we actually have received a patent on our formula concept since then, which just really speaks to that it does function differently. And, in very short explanation, what is different is that it's a sweat activated formula. So every time you sweat, that moisture triggers the formula to act. It does two things. One, it time releases. The moisture triggers the odor protecting complex to release little by little over time. And it also has a wicking effect or a moisture absorbing effect. And so it can keep you drier than a lot of the other natural deodorants on the market. It is non-antiperspirant. We do not plug your sweat ducts. We do not claim to, but we can sort of balance people maybe not wanting to feel as much of the moisture with having a really safe product. And then again, hopefully making it easier to make the switch. So that's sort of the backstory on how Type A came to be. And I think a lot of the lessons I've learned in my beauty career, I'm really trying to pour into this. I mean, for one, I worked with a freelance chemist in my network, and we own our formula. And that was super critical and important to me from the beginning to make sure that I could develop it to the fullest extent and then have that ownership and control, through the manufacturing process, and to really make sure that all the way down the supply chain, we're following the standards that we say we're setting. And we're also a B Corp, and that also helps to kind of, keep us making sure that we're doing right by all of our stakeholders.
Love it. Simone and Shannon, you are both advocates of clean beauty. So tell us a little bit about why you do what you do. Overhauling, as we hear, your clients' vanities and bathroom countertops for cleaner products. Tell us a little bit about all of that.
Absolutely. So similar to what everybody's talked about today, our journey began probably about 10 years ago. With similar frustrations to what everybody's talked about today. For me, it was very personal. My son suffered from severe eczema as a baby and allergies. And for us, it was really, that was the catalyst for what triggered my desire to really look into the marketplace and find products that were safe for him. And on the one hand, I had my pediatrician and dermatologist giving me products that had steroids in them. And then on the other hand, this was long before the clean beauty movement became as popular as it is today. So I was struggling to, go into traditional retail, and you add a sea of brands and products. And oftentimes, we shop because we like the logo or the packaging, and you feel overwhelmed and intimidated. And my background is 20 years in marketing and product development, and started my career as a makeup artist. So, I like to geek out to this stuff. And Simone has a background as a model and also in health and wellness. So we both share a passion for this. But if we ourselves couldn't find products that we could understand or that were good for our kids, we looked at it. We looked at the market and figured, what would the average consumer feel about this type of thing. So when we got together, we looked at wanting to create something that would be our ideal shopping experience, and that was rooted in high level service, in transparency and trust. And at the time, you really had traditional retailers. The most curated would have been something like a Space NK. And again, you walk in and it's maybe a 20-year-old retail associate really trying to push the latest and greatest, or trying to hit a sales goal. Or you'd walk into a big department store and some fabulous person would try to sell you on the most neutral eye, and then you'd come home with 15 shades of brown and a million products, and you'd get home and you wouldn't know what to do with it or how to use it, or thousands of dollars worth of skincare, and really it wasn't products that are necessarily right for you or your skin type. So we were really frustrated with the current landscape of the market, and so we said, what, why not just go look at the market overall and really learn more about clean beauty and what that means. And so we really just spent a couple years just doing our homework and researching and looking at all the different brands at the time, and really trying to understand what the difference between these different products were. And it started with sunscreen, because that's really the first category that blew our minds when it came to ingredients and when it came to restrictions and regulations. And where it stands today, there's over 500 ingredients that are banned worldwide that aren't regulated in the United States. So for us, it's been a process and it's been a journey. And so that led to, our vanities and our clients' bathrooms. But again, it's evolved over the past 8 years. But what we do, to make a long story longer, we go into our clients' homes and we, like a stylist would, we literally go to their most personal space, which is their bathrooms, and we start there and we help them edit, because let's be honest, most of us will, we won't feed our kids expired food. We may go through our clothes and our closets, but when it comes to our products, we have this attachment. We have this, this idea that we don't love it, but we won't throw it away. So, I call it the 1/3 rule, where we'll have some shampoo or lotion or whatever it may be, but we won't throw it away. And, that's just our face care, our body care. But when it comes to our makeup, we hold on to that eyeshadow or that lipstick palette or that, lip liner, whatever it may be. We just don't throw it away, even though products expire, even though, this is food grade material, it needs to, it has a shelf life. So we just help our clients purge. We give them permission to purge, and then we help them rebuild. We look at their overall needs and help them, edit and empower them and educate them on what is right for them. We believe that less is more. So we look at the marketplace, and we're not married to one brand. We really have a transparency when it comes to the clean beauty market. So we have over 45 lines that we work with, and that's ever changing. So we're not limited to who we work with. We're constantly bringing in new brands and new products, and then we make recommendations to our clients based on that. So that's sort of the long and short of it. And then Simone can elaborate a little bit if she wants to, but.
Yeah, Simone, why don't you tell us a little bit about why you think we should pay attention to what's in our products?
Mute.
Oh, she's on mute.
Sam, you're on mute.
I knew that was going to happen.
You had like a little rehearsal of what you were going to say. It's
exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, I think, the clean beauty has become, the whole industry has definitely exploded, and there's a lot of terminology that's being used right now. And I think this can be really confusing to a lot of women out there. So we hear words like organic, natural, eco, certified, green beauty. Honestly, what it comes down to for us, it's pretty simple. 2 categories: ingredients and labeling. So what we're really looking for is a clean beauty product to us is free of harmful toxins, such as endocrine disruptors, hormone disruptors, and carcinogens. Those are really the 2 things that we're looking for. And then transparency of labels. We really look for brands that are being really transparent in including everything that's in their product. So the issue is that there's no real governing body in the US today that regulates this process. So really a brand can put in any ingredients into their product, and we don't really know exactly what's in it. And, an example of this lack of transparency would be fragrance. So fragrance is actually not considered to be an ingredient. It's a company's secret formula. And so they can hide a lot of toxic chemicals or ingredients under this umbrella, fragrance. And then it can be really confusing for someone, when going through the ingredients of like, okay, fragrance, what does that mean? So is it a natural fragrance? Is it coming from essential oils? Where is it coming from? And, if a brand's not going to be completely transparent, a consumer's never really going to know. The other confusing thing is greenwashing. So today, I think a lot of brands that are trying to capture the health conscious consumer, they use a lot of buzzwords like plant-derived, vegan, cruelty-free, eco-friendly, sustainability. And yes, a product can have all of those or be all of those, but it can still have some harmful, toxic ingredients. And again, I think this can be, really confusing. So, for us, well, the other thing I think that's important to also know is that not all synthetic chemicals and ingredients, man-made, preservatives, etc., are actually harmful and toxic. We often need to include certain chemicals to stabilize our ingredients. So what we've realized is it's really about taking nature and science, putting them together and having a really good formulation so that we have a great, clean product that's active and that actually works, because you need certain chemicals to stabilize these ingredients. So that's really important for a lot of people to understand, that just the word natural doesn't really mean that you're getting everything that you want. Yes, I think Christine wants to.
And I think you've just hit on so many amazing points that I just want to back up. It is the fact of taking some science with the all natural. And it's funny because we never wanted to use the term all natural with us because I felt it was a complete lie. What is all natural, right? And how can I absolutely promise that every ingredient, although I know where we're purchasing it from, I know, to as much as I can possibly do, but I cannot promise that. And to that point, it being all natural does not mean that it is the quality that you want. In fact, in Europe, where there was an outbreak of bacteria in products because it was all natural. And it's funny, I recently used a very popular all natural product to try because my girlfriends were recommending it to me, and completely broke out with a rash on my face and I never get anything. And I had to go back to where am I getting this from? And I was like, there's absolutely some sort of bacteria in this product right now that created this for me. So, the buzzwords, it just, it impassions me because it confuses the customer to not be able to get the quality of what they need in the sense of clean, if that even is their passion, or also something that can perform as well.
Yeah. So just to add one last thing, like for us, it's really important. We really look at, and as you all have had a story, that's what we're looking for when we're looking at brands. We're looking at the integrity of a brand. So why have they decided to create this brand? What's the reason behind that? And then to make sure that they're using the highest quality or highest grade ingredient together with science to really create what we believe to be the best clean beauty has to offer. And that's really where we put a lot of our focus. It's just really spending time on getting to know the owners, the founders of these companies, why they created that. And then, as Shannon mentioned, like we really have no affiliation to a brand. Brands don't pay us to do what we do. We go out there, we do the research. If we really believe in something, we try it all ourselves. We spend a lot of time actually sampling out on ourselves. We have the breakouts all the time. We go through that as well. But then we know when we've tried something that we can actually go to a client and be really transparent in our recommendation and say, this works. And so our clients, learn to really trust us, and we kind of go out there and do the hard work for them, and then, bring that to them. And so, yeah, that's kind of really our ethos and what we stand behind.
And also, then to back up, we were saying the same thing in supplements. Like, what's the one thing that you can do before even getting into ingredient panels, which can be a little overwhelming when you're first beginning, although I do believe like we write pretty much everything in English for people so that they understand like our English. I mean, like, breaking it down what each ingredient is. But to know the founders is one of the best basic things that you can do in their story, and to truly believe that they're going to provide you that quality of ingredient. And, to getting into not only clean ingredients, but the quality of ingredients, which really is the cleanliness of it too. Where are these companies purchasing their ingredients from? Are they going to one of the cheaper countries of the world and buying it for 90% less, because then that saves on their pricing? But why is it 90% less? Even if it's the same ingredient, hyaluronic acid from here, 90% less, hyaluronic acid from here, 90% more, why is it 90% less? And so as a consumer, I wouldn't know that about another another brand. But if I can truly understand the founder, and, it's harder to do with bigger companies. It's just unfortunate unless you have somebody back there that is like your control, system, which typically is the founder.
I agree with that. I think that's the key is relating to what Sarah had said. I'm half Jamaican. So my mother was very natural with her products. And, at the time that was really uncool, to know all about where things actually come from, which is the ground, right? So as a child, it didn't seem something I wanted to learn. But as I've grown and made my own product, my facial oil is, I use vegan free and it's toxin free. So yes, I'm also guilty of using those words, but I know that it's coming from me as the founder who has a background and a history in knowing exactly what I'm doing and finding out that information. So thank you all for that. One last thought before we go into our Q&A. What wellness advice do you have for our viewers about staying healthy? This is all about me on my podcast. Tea with Gwen is talking all about how we stay healthy mentally and physically during this pandemic. We're almost done, you guys. It feels like we're opening back up. It feels like we're about to be free. What advice do you have? Let me go to Allison.
Yeah, I think it is, listen, it's been a tough year for everybody, no matter what your circumstances are. It's been so challenging in so many ways. I have 2 young kids. I'm running a business. It's a lot. So I think my biggest piece of advice and what I've tried to do throughout the year is just celebrate the small wins. And so, there have been, I don't want to say silver linings, but actual ways that I have moved forward in my life somehow. Gotten ourselves a little more space personally with the less slightly, getting out of our apartment and into a home, making the switch in my kitchen to pull another item that I didn't think was clean or safe enough and replace it, and just letting myself say, like, I can't do everything, but little by little, I'm moving forward. So I would say just, allow yourself the opportunity to pat yourself on the back and think about what you're doing well.
And breathe. Who'd like to go next?
I'll go.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. For me, it's actually really similar. It's actually very simple. And Allison's heard this spiel before, is that I, from a wellness perspective, the pandemic had me all sorts of crazy, and then more hair loss. And I have found calmness in meditation. And it sounds so cliched, and I totally get it. And I might be 20 years late to the ship, but I meditate daily now, first thing in the morning before the kids get up. It is my process at 6:30 in the morning. And now I have big meditation headphones, and it has changed my life. Because of my stroke, I had all this residual pain. I had nerve pain all over my body, especially my face. So I'd gone through all of my skincare just to make sure nothing was irritating and there's nothing inflammatory and all the things, right? I cleaned up all my food habits. I'm moving every single day, but my pain still remained. Then I started meditating on a schedule, and I don't take any pain medication anymore, at all, guys. 3 months, clear body. And it is wild how much I have changed. And so after the pandemic, and when things are opened up again, I'll still keep it as part of my daily routine. So it's really, this one is all about emotional wellness. I see a therapist, I do all the things, but nothing was really helping until I found meditation. So it's been just absolutely life-changing. It's actually sort of helped me cope quite a bit with, the stress of every day, having 2 kids at home and schooling full time. So,
Shannon?
Let's see where to start. I think probably the most, I'd say 2 things. And this probably goes beyond just the pandemic, but it's what we tell our clients. Less is more. You really need a lot less stuff than what we're told. And I think that, especially as we age, our skin is, it's our largest organ, as we all know, but the more stuff you put on, even when it comes to makeup, we look older. The more shit you put on the more stuff you put on your face, and the more products you put on your face, usually that's when you start breaking out more. So what we're told in the media, what we're told, from certain selling perspective, whatever, it's not true. You need certain effective items to achieve things as we age, when it comes to exfoliation, when it comes to hydration, all these things. But less is more. And same with makeup. I'm the expert at the no makeup look, except I love a pop of lip. So I try to push my clients and just, if you're going to play with something, do something fun, just to, even if you have to wear a mask, it makes you feel good underneath. So less is more. And my other thing is trust your instincts, because those are usually always right. And I think as a mother, we often get overwhelmed with reading books and all these things that doubt our instincts. So I'd say trust your instincts, especially during this crazy year that we've had.
Brilliant. Simone?
I'm going to say, to go back to less is more, I think it's all about just simplicity, keeping things and keeping life as simple as possible. Another key thing for me is toxins, to really make sure that we stay toxin free, not only with our products, not only with what we eat, but I think in relationships too. We just want to keep toxins away. And I think, this time has really given us that opportunity to figure out what is and isn't toxic in our lives. And I think that's something that a lot of this at-home time has really allowed me to see more clearly. So yes, I'm keeping toxins out of my life in every way possible. And I think for me, sunshine is super important. So, if one can just get a little time outside, be in the sun, I think it does a lot for our mental health. I think it does a lot for just our well-being in general. And I'm not sure if everyone's from California, but I'm really grateful and thankful to be in California and to have this beautiful weather. So just to be able to get out there and enjoy it. So yeah, that's my advice.
Lovely. Yes, I definitely take advantage of that sunshine, getting out and getting some exercise. I say hashtag get up and move every day and have gratitude. My other hashtag is create your world. So whether that be something super simple, or you are good at arranging everything for your children every hour of the day, which I'm not, but if that's what works. I definitely love watching Christine on her Instagram. So what is your advice for us, Christine?
Yeah, I think it kind of combines what you all are saying, but it's taking these self-care rituals and taking those moments for the day. And I mean moments, because, if you do see on my Instagram, yes, I'm into wellness. We're talking about clean supplements and taking our greens and collagen and having the best skincare and, but I have a very balanced life. We eat brisket on Hawaiian breads on the weekends and, whatever it may be, because I think we can't over stress about things. And it truly, your full health and feeling your best and finding your balanced rhythm within your body and with that in your lifestyle is just taking these simple moments for yourself. One, it is it could be, for me we have a whole body mask, and I don't have time to do that by myself. My daughters use my bathtub more than I do, but I might pop in with them one night and we might let them help me, put it on and do that together. It may be taking a little bit of CBD before bed so I get a little bit better night's rest on the few hours that I get with a newborn. Or it might be exactly what you're saying, taking a time away from my desk and just opening the door and getting some fresh air. And it might be a 5-minute workout. And typically that's what it is. I can't get in these full things before, but I feel like I appreciate all of that so much more. And your brain needs these repetitive things that you don't have to think about. So if it's getting up and just drinking your greens in the morning, or a 5-minute workout, or that meditation that you're looking forward to, even if it is, again, not even 10 minutes, it is something that you don't have to think about. And that is kind of stabilized in your life when the world is a little bit more chaotic with our schedules being disrupted right now. So self-care. Care for the self.
Self-care. You all can see every single one of these women and follow them on their accounts on Instagram to find out all of these beauty secrets that they have and more, because there's going to be more. Christine Bullock is at Christine Bullock. Alison Moss is at Type A Deodorant. Let me say it again. At Type A Deodorant. Sarah Fotis is Collective Laboratories, and that is at Collective Laboratories. Shannon Solar and Simone are co-founders of the Beyond Beauty LA, and they are at Beyond Beauty LA. And so I would just love for you all to continue doing what you're doing so you can keep inspiring people like myself. And we just have loved this. I have loved getting to know you all on here. Is there any goodbyes anybody would like to say?
Say one more. Beauty Beyond LA.
Beauty Beyond LA.
Thank you.
Can't hear you.
Okay, I'm back and I'm unmuted. And we want to thank you guys for your time today doing the panel. And we know there are several questions, so we're going to shoot you guys over to our sessions area to answer those questions. And we will be there to help if you guys need any help, but you should be able to jump on into sessions and go ahead and start answering questions from the chat. And we thank you again for your time. And we'll see everybody in 2
Thank you,
minutes.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Glenn.